It should not be directors met, discussed, considered and approved. And the minutes don't say anything. So long it was going on, it was going on. But henceforth, when issues will arise, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, at that time, you will be hard pressed, because remember, when I say this transaction is in the ordinary course of business of the company and at arm's length, it is not the regulator has to prove, I have to prove that it is at arm's length. And then I try to scratch my head that what exactly was the situation at that time will not help. So if the minutes speak and there are the supporting documents available, that only will be the proper solution. Otherwise there could be difficulty. So audit committee minutes, board minutes relating to related parties particularly have to be in detail to ensure that you are able to meet the requirements. Nomination and remuneration committee. Remuneration committee we have been all familiar with. Nomination, of course, the concept taken from Western countries. Again, predominantly independent directors who have to have the responsibility of identifying people. So, when they have to locate new persons to bring them on the board, it is the members of the nomination committee who will have to do that exercise of due diligence and find suitable candidates for the company. Now this is an interesting provision. Separate meetings of independent directors have to be there, at least one meeting in a year, and where all the directors, independent directors are expected to attend and discuss amongst themselves without the presence of anybody from the promoter or management group. Now what is this meeting supposed to do? It has to review the performance of non-independent directors on the board, review the performance of the chairperson of the company, taking into account the views of executive directors, non-executive directors, assess the quality, quantity, timeliness of flow of information between the company management and the board that is necessary for the board to effectively and reasonably perform the duties. Because as we know in the past particularly, things have improved of late, but still in many companies, they have a huge agenda, but all you get is the notice. And one day before in the evening, you get the huge agenda papers, and next day morning 10:30 is a board meeting. And you don't have enough time to go through the papers. And then it used to be said, but that was the exact intention. So that the director should not have enough time to go through the papers, otherwise they'll ask so many questions. But now, it is the independent directors have to take cognizance of that. If it is so, it has to be taken up with the company. Now, so far as provisions in respect of retirement of directors by rotation will not apply, obviously, because they are appointed for a fixed period. But so far as removal is concerned, it will be like any other director. And resignation, perhaps many of you would recall, under the 56 Act, surprisingly, even for an ordinary director, there was no provision for resignation. So much so that companies, although they are supposed to file Form 32 within 30 days, they would not file, and the person who has ceased to be a director will continue on the board so far as ROC is concerned. And he himself also could not file his own return. Naresh Chandra committee recommended this particular, that even the person himself, when he resigns, he also should be able to file. The committee had said he should be able to file when the company is not filing. Now the law has made it compulsory that the person who resigns, not only he has to file his own resignation, but he has to give a justification or explanation, the reason why he has resigned from the board. And interestingly, recent case, let me share with you the actual thing happened. A foreigner, he resigned from the board of the company and he left country, went away. When the company on his behalf, his individual return they were trying to file, they found that it requires digital signature. To become a director, you don't require digital signature, what you require is DIN. But when he had to file his resignation, digital signature was required. And because that relevant Form 11 or something could not be filed, therefore company's own return Form 12 also could not be filed. And they have taken up the issue with the ROC because the director has already left India and he is a foreigner. So, trying to simplify, again they have created a complication there. But resignation will be a simple resignation from whatever date he resigns. Any vacancy has to be filled within 3 months or at the next board meeting, whichever is earlier. Now this of course is not strictly about independent directors. These directors in general, section 166 has given a long list of duties which I am not going to, but broadly we are familiar. Only thing this time it has been codified. Friends, with this I am coming to a close of my presentation of independent directors, and let me thank you for patient hearing, and if there are any questions I can answer.
Thank you, sir, for your exhaustive coverage on the independent directors. May I request the audience to ask any questions if they have. I propose, I request Ashok Sharma ji to make some remarks.
Friends, our President informed there is some draft notification on MCS side giving some exemption to the private limited companies. You may go through it. Friends, at Chamber, we feel that as far as the transitional provisions are concerned, and also that was the suggestion of many members, that was not covered in great detail. So at Chamber we have decided to have one more session on 2nd July, that will be part of this course, where 2 speakers will take transitional provisions. The details of course will be announced later, and that will again